All right, so moving on, I want to talk about how it is that we got to find out that Bristol Palin was pregnant. Um, I am not big on libel and slander. I think that that's just a really low blow, and if you can't find a better argument, then you should just not even be in the discussion. Uh, but so the reason that we found out that Bristol was pregnant was not because the GOP came forward with that. Again, if you want to watch the news, you want to do your research on the internet, whatever you have to do to find out about this. The reason we found out that Bristol was pregnant was because people were spreading lies about who was the real father of, again, Governor Palin's son, whose name I believe is Turk. I can't. Pardon me. I really don't know the name. But we found out about that because people were saying that Bristol was in fact the mother of this child, and Governor Palin was trying to cover it up by saying that it was her child. Now that's wrong. That just didn't need to be said or done. However, if if it hadn't been done, since the Republican Party has openly stated that the reason they came out with the fact that Bristol was pregnant was because of these blogs that were going on and spreading lies. Uh, had had those things not been said, when were you going to tell the American people that she was pregnant? When were you going to say, oh, by the way, a member of the socially conservative party has a 17-year-old daughter who is 5 months pregnant out of wedlock? Sorry. I know we have all these moral standards and things that we want people to live up to. I know we preach about the religious right and how you're not supposed to have sex out of wedlock. You're supposed to be able to abstain. You're supposed to be able to get through the hormonal changes that everybody goes through as a teenager without birth control. You're just supposed to be able to ignore them. I know we say all these things, but we really don't believe it. And by the way, we have this VP candidate who kind of has a daughter who's kind of pregnant, and I just hope you can accept that. When the hell were you gonna say something? And what else are you hiding? What else are you not telling us? What else are people going to have to make up before you're going to go ahead and come out with the rest of the truth? I know that the White House, the government in general, is not necessarily the most transparent of organizations. However, if this is what happens before we elect Senator McCain and Governor Palin into the White House, then what's going to happen afterwards? What else are you going to not tell us about until we kind of find out for ourselves, or until we start making up stories about? What else are you just going to keep from us because it's better for us as American people to just not know about? You know, that'd be like saying, well, here, what's this? Looks like water. It's not water. It's gin and Sprite, and it's fucking tasty. All right, I like it, and I'm gonna drink it. Getting a little buzz, but I don't really think that you should drink. Um, and it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I say. You just go ahead and uphold these standards that I think that you should uphold. So just don't drink. Please don't drink. I will probably prosecute you or throw you in jail if you do drink. It's just wrong. But that doesn't mean that I can't do it myself. I mean, the socially conservative party, if again you will go ahead and do your own research, it's supposed to uphold a set of moral and ethical standards that they, again, have proven time and time again that they cannot even uphold themselves. So what is it that makes these people decide how it is that we're supposed to live, and simultaneously say that that is not necessarily the way that they're supposed to live? And that's what I'm really talking about here, is the socially conservative party. Again, I'm not trying to attack Bristol. I'm not saying that she has done anything wrong. What I'm saying is that do we really want a couple of people in the office who are going to go ahead and tell us how to live, but they're not going to do it themselves? Do we really want um, to elect a bunch of people who are just going to go ahead and say, don't question our morals, don't question our actions. You just go ahead and you go to work. And you work your 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. You get your paycheck, you pay your bills, and you just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. And don't pay attention to what we do. Absolutely not. No, I don't want anybody in the White House like that. I don't want. We've had enough of that. We really, really have. And the fact that it's all coming out before, like Bush, I think the first time I wasn't able to vote, so I couldn't say whether or not, um, with any sort of conviction that I thought Bush would be a good president or not. I'm pretty sure that I didn't, they hold those sort of if you could vote votes as a young person. Well, I'm pretty sure that I did not vote for him. I don't even know who was on the other end of the ticket, but I did not vote for him. Second time around, I thought, you know what, maybe he's learned some things. Maybe he would be better, but I still didn't vote for him. I'm pretty sure I voted for Kerry. But it's one thing to find out something about someone in office as they're in office, but it's another thing to go into it knowing that they're not going to tell you the truth, uh, and just elect them anyway. I mean, it's like they're running a joke campaign. It's like they're saying, you know what, screw everything that we say. These people are dumb enough to elect us, so we're just going to do whatever we want, you know. Screw what women say. They can get their woman in the White House, but she's not going to be about anything that most women are about. Most women are about educating their children about sex. Governor Palin does not want sex education. She wants children. Okay, think about when you were a teenager, uh, and your parents were saying, you know what, just don't touch each other. Just stop touching people. Did you listen? Probably not. It's really hard as a teenager to say that there are all these things going through my mind, all these feelings going through my body, and I just really want to touch that boy or girl. Um, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You are a human being. And how dare somebody tell you how to live? Now we have to have socially conservative guidelines so that we don't have a rampant overpopulation, so that we don't have people getting pregnant and people leaving their families. So we don't have all these sort of broken homes and things like that. You need two parents really to raise a child. You need that male and female influence. There is nothing wrong with that. However, there is something wrong with a bunch of people who want to tell people how to live, but not going to do it themselves. There is something very seriously, morally, ethically wrong with that. And I just can't put somebody in the White House who's going to tell me how to live who can't do it themselves. If you're going to tell me, do your best, I can go with that. I can go with that. But if you're going to tell me life happens, but it only happens to the GOP, and don't you, America, worry about what happens here, you just go ahead and work your 9 to 5 and do what we tell you to do? No. No, sorry. Not going to happen. Um, Now, why don't we just cut this short? As we only have about a minute and a half before this cuts out, and that's not long enough. So, number 4. Please tune in for number 4.